The biggest financial lie you've ever been sold is that keeping your money in a savings account is safe. It is guaranteed mathematical suicide.
And that right there is the brutal reality we are unpacking today.
Yeah.
Welcome to a special deep dive, a really high-stakes session we're calling the Wealth Blueprint. We are talking directly to you today. The mission of this fast-paced, frankly aggressive debate is to deconstruct exactly why your own neurological wiring is fundamentally designed to keep you poor.
It really is.
Today we're pulling from a pretty dense stack of sources. We've got, behavioral economics research papers, historical market data going back over 50 years,
And detailed banking case studies.
Exactly, to expose the reality of how traditional savings is just the slowest, most comfortable way to go broke.
Yeah.
So let's get straight into the mechanics of this, because calling a universally trusted institution like a savings account, mathematical suicide is a massive claim.
No, it's huge.
Right. So based on the behavioral economics research in our stack, why is the standard way we've all been taught to save actually, destroying our wealth?
Because the root cause of this wealth destruction isn't actually a financial problem at all.
Okay.
It is entirely biological. It comes down to a deeply ingrained cognitive bias in the human brain known as loss aversion.
Loss aversion.
Yeah.
Right.
We have to understand that as humans, our hardware was programmed purely for survival in a hostile environment. We are not, biologically optimized for building wealth in a modern, complex financial system.
Right. Our brains didn't evolve to read stock charts.
Exactly. Our brains evolved on the savannah to keep us alive.
Yeah.
Which means our neurological threat detection systems are just hypersensitive to any form of loss or danger.
So we are essentially trying to navigate this advanced fiat-based economic system using hardware that was optimized for the Stone Age.
Precisely. And behavioral economics papers we were reviewing today, they provide the clinical data to prove it. If you look at the functional brain scans in these studies, the asymmetry of human emotion is just staggering.
How so?
Well, researchers mapped the neurological activity in the amygdala, right, the brain's fear center, versus the striatum, which processes rewards. And the data shows that the psychological pain and the neurological stress you experience from losing $1,000 is literally twice as intense as the joy you experience from gaining $1,000.
Oh, wow. Twice as intense.
Exactly 2 to 1.
Yeah.
Think about the gravity of that biological ratio. A loss registers as a 2 to 1 visceral threat compared to an equivalent gain.
That's insane.
It is. Your brain treats a financial dip not as a temporary fluctuation, but as an immediate threat to your physical survival.
That 2 to 1 ratio, it explains so much about irrational human behavior. It actually reminds me of an autoimmune disorder.
Oh, that's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah, think about how a peanut allergy works. A peanut isn't inherently lethal, right? It's just a harmless protein. But an allergic person's immune system misinterprets that protein as a deadly pathogen.
Right, it totally overreacts.
Exactly. The body's own defense mechanism overreacts so aggressively that it actually harms the person.
Yes.
And it sounds like our financial behavior operates the exact same way. We see a 2% drop in an asset's price, and instead of recognizing it as a harmless temporary fluctuation,
mechanic.
Right, our neurological system triggers a massive cortisol spike. Our survival instincts overreact to protect us, but in doing so, they completely paralyze our ability to build long-term capital. We're attacking our own wealth.
That is a phenomenal analogy. Your financial immune system is literally attacking your portfolio.
Yeah.
Because the fear of seeing your resources diminish, even temporarily, even as part of a really sound long-term strategy, it completely overrides the mathematical logic of compounding wealth. Your brain demands immediate security over future prosperity.
It's just wild.
You are actively choosing the perceived safety of not triggering that autoimmune response, even if it guarantees a slow financial freeze.
Okay, so if we establish that this 2 to 1 loss aversion is hardwired into our biology, what does this mean for where we park our capital?
Well,
Because we don't live on the savannah anymore,
Yeah, we don't.
We live in a world governed by massive financial institutions. And looking at the banking case studies in our sources, it seems incredibly clear that these institutions are intimately aware of our neurological blind spots.
Oh, they aren't just aware of your biological blind spots. The entire traditional banking architecture is reverse engineered to exploit them.
Wow.
The banking sector intimately understands your 2-to-1 loss aversion. So what is their core product? They don't sell you wealth creation.
No, they don't.
They sell you safety. They provide a product that acts as a neurological pacifier.
A pacifier.
Yeah, they tell you, deposit your capital in our vault. It is FDIC insured. It is strictly regulated. You will never, ever log into your app and see the balance go down.
And man, to a brain suffering from that financial autoimmune disorder, that pitch is irresistible.
It's exactly what you want to hear.
It completely bypasses our critical thinking because it just soothes the amygdala.
It is the ultimate neurological relief. But, and here's the catch, it is a complete mathematical illusion.
Right.
Because while your account balance isn't going down in nominal terms, meaning, the actual digits on your screen stay the same or maybe tick up by a fraction of a percent, the true purchasing power of those digits is bleeding out every single second due to inflation. You are paying a massive systemic penalty that is effectively a comfort tax.
I want to pause on this comfort tax concept because the mechanics of it are crucial.
Yeah, they really are.
Let's explain exactly how this silent bleeding happens, because based on the economic data in our stack, this isn't just an accident, it's a structural feature of how fiat currency operates. Right?
Absolutely, it's built in.
Yeah.
The mechanism is simple but devastating. Central banks continually expand the M2 money supply.
They print more money.
Exactly. They print more currency to fund government deficits, manage debt, and stimulate the economy.
Right.
And as the supply of currency increases, the value of each individual dollar decreases. It takes more dollars to buy the same gallon of milk, the same house, or, the same barrel of oil.
Yeah, we feel that every day.
So when you leave $10,000 in a savings account, paying the comfort tax means you are voluntarily allowing the system to dilute your future purchasing power.
Wow.
You are handing over your financial energy purely for the psychological comfort of a static, unmoving account balance.
Just to not see a red arrow.
Yes, you accept a guaranteed destruction of wealth, just so you don't have to feel that 2-to-1 biological pain of a market dip.
But I have to push back here a bit.
Go for it.
Because framing a savings account as an illusion or guaranteed destruction feels, a bit academic when you consider the visceral reality of the everyday listener.
Sure.
The illusion of safety is incredibly convincing for a reason. You log into your banking app on a Tuesday and you see $10,000. You log in a year later and you see $10,050.
Right.
Objectively, to the human eye, no theft has occurred. We feel completely secure. Why are we conditioned to obsess over these visible nominal numbers while completely ignoring the mechanism of inflation that is literally robbing us blind?
This goes right back to how your evolutionary wiring perceives threats.
Okay.
Your brain is hyper-optimized to react to visible, immediate predators. A lion jumping out of the bushes is a kinetic threat you can see and react to.
Right. Flight or fight.
Exactly. In the financial world, a stock market drop is the lion. You see a red arrow on your screen, you see your balance drop by $500 in a day, and your brain screams, danger, flee.
And what about inflation?
Inflation, however, operates like carbon monoxide.
Oh, wow.
It is completely odorless, it is invisible, and it works so gradually that it just slowly puts you to sleep.
That's terrifying.
Your brain's alarm system does not trigger a panic response to a gradual 4% loss of purchasing power over 12 months because the absolute number on the screen hasn't gone down.
It hasn't moved.
Right. The bank basically provides you with a predator-free room and then quietly fills the room with carbon monoxide.
Man, that carbon monoxide analogy is chilling, but it makes the mechanism perfectly clear. We are willingly paying the comfort tax.
Yes, we are.
We are sitting in the room breathing the carbon monoxide of inflation just so our amygdalas don't have to look at a red arrow.
Exactly.
But if we are paying this hidden tax for our money to sit perfectly still, we have to follow the money. What is the institution actually doing with that stagnant capital?
That's the real question.
Because if I look at the banking case studies from our sources, the banks certainly aren't sitting in that room breathing the gas with us.
Not at all. And this is the great quiet arbitrage of the modern financial system.
Break that down.
The bank takes your safe capital, the exact capital you are hoarding because you are biologically terrified of loss, and they instantly deploy it into the volatile real-world economy.
Instantly.
Through the mechanism of fractional reserve banking, they only keep a tiny percentage of your deposit in reserve.
Right.
They take the rest, and they buy commercial real estate. They issue mortgages, they fund corporate debt, they invest in high-yield assets.
So they are turning around and taking the exact risks that our biology is paralyzing us from taking.
Precisely. They actively manage risk. They capture the spread, what the industry calls the net interest margin.
No.
They might generate an 8, 10, or 12% return on the capital you gave them, generate billions in profit for their shareholders, and then they turn around and hand you back a microscopic 0.5% interest rate.
That is brutal.
That tiny yield is essentially your compensation for providing them with the raw materials to build their own wealth.
It is staggering when you map out the actual flow of capital. It's exactly like handing your car keys to a valet for safekeeping.
Oh, I like that.
Right. You give the valet your keys and you're thinking, great, my car is safe in the lot, it's insured, no one is going to scratch the paint. But the moment you walk away, the valet takes your car, rents it out as a high-speed taxi all night long, runs it through the city streets, dodges traffic, and collects thousands of dollars in fares.
Yeah, making a killing.
Exactly.
Right.
Then right before you return, they park it back in the lot, give it a quick wash, and hand you a single stick of gum when you pick up your keys.
Right.
And we, the public, are so blinded by our need for safety that we say, thank you so much for the gum, and thank you for keeping my car perfectly safe.
That valet analogy is entirely accurate because it highlights who holds the true leverage.
Yeah.
The harsh truth exposed by these banking case studies is that the middle class functions as the ultimate limitless funding mechanism for the financial elite.
The limitless funding mechanism.
Yes, and this entire dynamic exists for one reason. The middle class refuses to tolerate volatility.
Right.
The banking model relies entirely on your fear. If the broader public woke up tomorrow, conquered their biological loss aversion, and invested their own capital directly into the exact same diversified cash-flowing assets that the banks buy,
The whole game changes.
the traditional banking model would lose its greatest source of cheap capital overnight. They absolutely require your fear in order to fund their arbitrage.
So the middle class is systematically financing the elite's wealth building because of an uncorrected evolutionary blind spot.